Hey, innovators. This is the first of a set of Papercraft dice that we're going to make. So, please feel free to design on them however you want. Decorate them however you please. If you want to use paints, markers, colored pencils, just draw something on there. Make them your own. And, bonus points, think about a theme that you could use for all the dice. We're going to do one piece of the dice set a week, starting this week with D4, and then we'll move on to D6, D8, D12, or D10, then D12, then D20. Alright, by the end of it, you should have a full set of gigantic dice. So, it would be really cool if they had an artistic theme that went across all of them. Maybe ice, maybe space, maybe fire, who knows? But your favorite superheroes, your favorite princesses, your favorite vehicles. It's up to you. But I would love to see you guys make these your own. It may be easier to draw or paint on them before you cut them out and assemble them. Or you might want to do some kind of wraparound design, and it might be better to try to do that after you've assembled it. It's up to you. I'm going to show you how to build them, but decorating them is all up to your creativity, okay? So we have our 4 sheets here in your packet. There should have been 5 sheets, an instructional sheet, and then these 4. Start with 1, 2, 3 here. If you look up in the top corner, you can see the page numbers. For some reason, my camera changed the aspect. So instead of landscape, this video is portrait. The pictures will be landscape, and you shouldn't miss much. Here we go. I'm cutting this one out. Just cut along all the black lines. And once you've got that all cut out just like that there, I'm going to take my favorite scoring stick and I'm going to begin scoring those dotted lines. We're going to do this the same way on all 4 of these pieces. The only difference is the last piece, piece number 4, only has 1 tab, so there'll only be 1 line to score. Fold those on the dotted lines you just scored to make the folding easier and more precise. Beautiful. Now we're going to do that with the other pieces. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and you can see the last one. Nothing there, nothing there. Oh, there it is. 1 tab. Save this for last. Just in case it was hard to read. Now, let's start our assembly. Attach 2, 3, and 4 here. And 2, 3, 4. That's the right piece. Attach 1, 2, 3 here. So those must go like that. Alright. Glue onto one side. We only need to glue one of the tabs. And line up those dotted lines that you folded. Those are the outsides, so we want those to line up. Doesn't matter if the actual tabs line up all the way, just matters that we line up those folded lines. And make sure you've got a secure bond, push it down, squeeze that seam, there we go, and boom. Now attach 1, 2, 4. So we find 1, 2, 4, here it is, and attach 2, 3, 4. Glue on one side. And repeat. Remember, line up a dotted line to dotted line. It's kind of nice. Usually with Papercraft, we work with a lot of smaller parts. And it's kind of refreshing to just have these nice big pieces to work with. Makes it a lot easier to line things up, a lot easier to connect things. There we go, give that seam a squeeze. And now we have 3 of the 4 sides of our D4. Those are going to connect right there. There we go. Looking great. Now, just a closer look if those are hard to read while I'm moving. We're going to connect these 2 sides. Let's see. Always good to do test fit first. Make sure you got those seams underneath the 2 pieces you're going to attach. Should attach just like that. That looks like a good lineup. Watch out! Now, we can fold that tab over because these tabs are going to be inside. And we glue 1 tab. And we're going to fold it together. Luckily this is a nice big thing, like I said earlier, so we can get our hand inside there to squeeze that. And beautiful thing about this pyramid is we can actually squeeze this whole corner if we want to. There we go. Make sure we have a secure connection, a good bond of those 2 tabs. That's looking pretty good. There we go. Papercraft, even though it's not sculpting in that you're not taking clay away from a big block of clay and finding the picture that's in it, it is in a way sculpting because you're using your hands to shape the paper. So don't be afraid to squeeze something together or pinch a corner if it's going to help that glue bond. Sometimes you gotta finagle some of these pieces to get them together. Alright, the last piece, save for last. So make sure you've got your numbers lined up. There's 3 right next to the 3, because you want those numbers on the corners all to be the same. And we're going to glue that first tab there. Make sure you got a secure connection. That looks pretty good. Nope, I need a little more glue. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you're trying to fit something and the glue will dry. Then it doesn't stick as well. Don't get discouraged. Just put on a little more glue. See? Now it's working much better. Alright. Now what we need to do, once we've got that good and secure, tuck that seam under those 2 flaps. Glue on the edges. I found it was easier to just glue on that big part. That part right there. The flap that we made, glue on there instead of on the little tabs. Just made it easier because you could lay that big part down flat. And fold this over on top and it should line up pretty easy. And squish them together. Sorry, that's off camera, but I'm just squishing those corners to get those tabs to bond. Sometimes I like to rub it on the table, get that flat, but I think that one's still kind of loose. Try and put some more glue in there. As I said, those tabs are tough. But The paper is pretty strong. You can manhandle it a little bit without it ripping, so I just kind of pulled that tab out, put the glue in, and I'm going to pop that tab back inside. And we'll try again. Sometimes mini crafting is trial and error. That's okay. There we go. So rub to get that sealed and squeeze that corner. It still doesn't want to. Ah, darn it. What can I do? Wait a minute. White glue. That's what we need. If you don't have a good bond with the glue stick, sometimes you might need some liquid glue. Glue stick is faster and generally less messy, but liquid glue does bond better. So I'm going to put a bead along that tab there. Make sure to close your glue afterwards. Cap on the glue stick, and there we go. Now we're getting a bond that's going to be strong. Now, the other thing about liquid glue, of course, is it takes a lot longer to dry. So if you're having problems with, clean your hands. If you're having problems with the glue sticks, just remember that the white glue takes longer to dry. And here we go. Beautiful. There's a D4. Next week, we'll do a D6. See you then.